So she wanted to do this, and she was Audubon's representative at Allstate, which is a huge thing. Great utilization of dynamic changes in volume, good characterization, great eye contact and facial expression, incandescent, fabulous. That's why t-shirts said incandescent for Ava, for Allstate. Great use of bodily tension, superb vocal delivery, Your facial expressions clearly communicate the emotional turmoil of this selection. And I could go on and on and on. And we had fun at Allstate. It was good. And she performed very, very well. And the critic there had nothing but fabulous things to say about her.
In the novel Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, the Greeks are 10 years into a war with the Trojans. Patroclus, the best friend of Achilles, must break some bad news regarding Briseis. Powerful strides took him swiftly up the beach. His anger was incandescent, a fire under his skin. His muscles were pulled so taut, I was afraid to touch him, fearing they would snap like bowstrings. He did not stop once we reached the camp. He did not turn and speak to the men. He seized the extra tent flap covering our door and ripped it free as he passed. His mouth was twisted, ugly and tight as I'd ever seen it. His eyes were wide. "I will kill him!" he swore. "I will kill him!" He grabbed a spear and broke it in half with an explosion of wood. The pieces fell to the floor. "I almost did it there," he said. "I should have done it. How dare he?" He flung an oar aside and it shattered against a chair. "The cowards! You saw how they bit their lips and did not dare to speak. I hope he takes all their prizes. I hope he swallows them one by one." They were coming for Briseis. I stood, my hands balled. I felt strong, unbending, as if my feet pierced through the earth to the other side of the world. "We must do something," I said. "We can hide her in the woods, or you will pay now," Achilles said. There was fierce triumph in his voice. "Let him come for her. He has doomed himself." "What do you mean?" "I must speak to my mother." He started from the tent. I seized his arm. "We don't have time. They will have taken her by the time you are back. We must do something now." He turned. His eyes looked strange, the pupils huge and dark, swallowing his face. He seemed to be looking a long way off. "What are you talking about?" I stared at him. "Briseis." He stared back. I could not follow the flicker of emotion in his eyes. "I can do nothing for her," he said at last. "If Agamemnon chooses this path, he must bear the consequences." A feeling, as if I were falling into ocean depths weighted with stones. "You are not going to let him take her." He turned away. He would not look at me. "It is his choice. I told him what would happen if he did." "You know what he will do to her." "It is his choice," he repeated. "He would deprive me of my honor? He would punish me? I will let him." His eyes were lit with an inner fire. "You will not help her." "There is nothing I can do," he said with finality. A tilting vertigo, as if I were drunk. I could not speak or think. I had never been angry with him before. I did not know how. "She is one of us. How can you just let him take her? Where is your honor? How can you let him defile her?" And then suddenly, I understood. Nausea seized me. I turned to the door. "Where are you going?" he asked. My voice was scraped and savage. "I have to warn her. She has the right to know what you have chosen." I stand outside her tent. It is small, brown with hides, set back. "Briseis," I hear myself say. "Come in." Inside, she is seated on a stool, mortar and pestle in her lap. The air smells sharply of nutmeg. She is smiling. I feel wrung dry with grief. How can I tell her what I know? I try to speak. Stop. She sees my face and her smile vanishes. Swiftly, she is on her feet and by my side. What is it? She presses the cool skin of her wrist to my forehead. Are you ill? Is Achilles all right? I am sick with shame, but there is no space for my self-pity. They are coming. Something has happened, I say. My tongue thickens in my mouth, my words do not come out straight. Achilles went today to speak to the men. She nods, her hand resting gently on mine in comfort. I almost cannot go on. Agamemnon did not, he was angry. He and Achilles quarreled. Agamemnon wants to punish him. Punish him? How? Now she sees something in my eyes. Her face goes quiet, pulling into itself, bracing. What is it? He is sending men for you. I see the flare of panic, though she tries to hide it. Her fingers tighten on mine. What will happen? My shame is caustic, searing every nerve. It is like a nightmare. I expect each moment to wake to relief. But there's no waking. It's true. He will not help. I cannot say more. It is enough. She knows. A trumpet blows outside. Her hand goes to her cheek, swipes away tears. Go, she whispers. Please.